Hello, attendees in listen-only mode. We are getting ready to start this broadcast here real quick. We're going to wait just about another minute or so for kind of latecomers. We have a good audience right now, but we do have a quick, if you look to your chat section, there's a quick poll that you can take, kind of getting some information about, what your needs are and stuff like that. But in about another minute and a half, we're going to go ahead and start with this webinar about protecting your revenue and profitability for your pizzeria. So go ahead and help yourself and take that poll real quick, and we'll be getting ready to go in about a minute.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome. So I hope everybody is out there staying safe. Again, we're just waiting for some people, but it's kind of crazy times. We're here with some really good people. They're going to tell some stories. We're going to sit back, listen, have a good time, hear how things are going all over, all across the country, and what certain people are doing in these trying times. I know we all have questions right now, and we're just looking for answers. So hopefully we can answer some of those today. Again, you can ask questions in the your dashboard. I don't know if it's on the left, right, up or down of your screen, but there's a question tab. Put in your questions there. I'll curate them throughout the event, and then at the end, we'll let Jamie and Mike answer them. But here in about another minute, we'll go ahead and do the official start. So hopefully you're getting some good information out there for us to kind of figure out how we can help you. And 58, 57, 56.
Like that wait time clock, huh, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, get the kinks out of your neck. Get ready to go, limber. There you go.
Oh, thanks. I needed that.
I felt mine right there. Surprised you couldn't hear it through the mic.
Exercising, webinar exercising.
Left. Go to the
Let me
right.
disinfect the screen.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've given these stragglers sufficient time to come in. So, hello, welcome to the PMQ webinar series. I'm Brian Hernandez, and today I'm joined by Jamie Swartz, Product Marketing Director for Revention, and Mike Nelson, owner of Little Pops NY Pizzeria in Naperville, Illinois. And today we're going to be talking about how to protect your revenue and profitability for your pizzeria in these crazy times. Now, again, I did want to say that you can ask questions of both Jamie and Mike. There's a tab on your dashboard where you can write in the questions. I'll curate them. I'll keep track of them. I'll probably respond and let you know that I have acknowledged receipt of your question. And we will ask that at the end once Mike has kind of told his story and how Revention has kind of helped him through these times. So just keep the questions coming. Anything pops up, ask 2, 3, 10, 11 might be too many questions, but okay, we'll try to get to as many as we can. But without further ado, I want to hand it over to Jamie Swartz, Product Marketing Director for Revention, and Mike of Little Pops Pizzeria. So take it away, guys.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that. Mike, I just have to say thanks again so much for taking time out of your super busy day. I know it's Thursday, which is the beginning of a crazy weekend for you. I've had the pleasure of getting a chance to know you better over the last few weeks, as we kind of started talking about some of the successes that you had. And I just think it's so great that you can join us today and help a lot of the folks out there that may have some challenges right now or aren't quite sure what they can do to, make things a little bit better. So I wanted to, just take a couple of minutes to find out a little bit more about you, kind of what your story is, like how did you get into the pizza business? How did this become, your thing?
Okay, well, thank you very much, Jamie, for inviting me and letting us tell our story. Vicki and I have an amazing journey in this pizzeria business. I could go on for 2 hours just talking about how we got into it, but I'll give you a 50,000-foot overview. If anybody wants to know more about our story and see our documentary, it's New York Pizza Dreams on YouTube. Approximately 6 years ago, I needed a career change, and I was eating, we went down to Florida from Melbourne Beach, and we're eating New York pizza at Bizarro's, New York Pizza right on the beach, and my wife's like, why can't we bring this back to Naperville? And we're like, oh, well, we don't have any money, and it costs a lot of money to open a pizzeria. And that night I screwed around on Craigslist, and I was looking on Craigslist, and I found a pizzeria in Naperville that was available. That was closed for 2 years. I called my nephew, who's got Little Pops in Maybrook, New York, and I said, Steven, look what I found. Are you willing to help us? And he goes, yeah, whatever you want. I'll teach you the recipes, just hand down the family recipes, and the rest is history. I figured if I could sell 30 pizzas a day at $20 a piece, I can make a living. And we came back not knowing what we were doing, owning a pizzeria when we got back from Florida. And I trained with my brother-in-law and my nephew for a week. We found a pizza maker that can make New York pizza, and here we are. 6 years later, it'll be 6 years in June that we opened, 6 years in April when we took over and started cleaning and making it ours. And we're still rocking and rolling and just still trying to figure it out, day by day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You've got an anniversary coming up. I know I've seen some interesting ways that people are celebrating their anniversaries, and it sounds like you're going to be celebrating it with a lot of your customers, but in a slightly different way. And I kind of wanted to talk about that because, on March 16th, your city was, there was a declaration, or I guess maybe the day before, that the dining rooms were going to close. And I found this picture on your Facebook page of one of the last nights that you guys had dine-in service. Can you kind of just share with everybody, like, what was going through you and Vicky's head that night? Like, what were you thinking? How were you feeling?
Yeah, it was, when that order came out, it was Sunday afternoon around 3:00, I believe. And Governor Pritzker, mandated that they were shutting all dine-in restaurants down. And we weren't sure if we were going to be able to be open or the restaurants were completely going to be shut down. So everybody was glued to the TV at 3:00 and listening and trying to breathe, to hope that we could be still do carry out and delivery. And we were able to do that. And so we took a big deep breath and said, okay, what are we going to do? We have one more day we can stay open for our customers, which Monday is usually the day we're closed. So we were all the front of the house was like, yeah, the servers, yeah, we'll be here tomorrow. We'll do this. And I'm thinking, I forgot to ask the kitchen. So I ran into the kitchen and, it was a busy Sunday night. So we were explaining to the kitchen what was going on and just said, look, I know it's asking a lot and you don't have to do it. We don't have to open, but we want to try to give one last dine-in service for our customers. We don't know how long this is going to be for. Maybe 30, 60, 90 days. Are you guys willing to step up and you want to work tomorrow? And they said, absolutely, Mike. Whatever you and Vicky need, we are here for you. So the picture on the screen is our last Monday night service before we shut the doors. And now, as it turns into, we've taken that dining room apart and it's command central for little pops for our pickup and delivery business. So we need all the space to make this happen right now. And we most likely won't be going back into that space as a dining room as all this evolves and we go to the next step in the restaurant business.
So I mean, you guys have, this is a beautiful picture. I love the ambiance here. I love just that comfort feel that this picture presents. What was going through y'all's minds the next day? I mean, March 17th, in Chicago, St. Patrick's Day is a big day there, as it is kind of celebrated across the nation. What were you guys thinking, on how you were going to convert your business over the next 24 hours to still be able to service your customers?
So I guess I missed the one step on Sunday at 3:00 as we got the news. I called Stuart Meyer, our marketing guy, and he did our documentary as well from Social Frequency. And we put a game plan together how to get the information to our customer. And that was the main winner of how we got the information. We had 5,800 emails. And again, collecting those emails through our loyalty program, through the Revention, through the POS system, gave us that advantage to communicate with our customers. And that was the biggest piece. And that's why our Monday night was so successful. It was our busiest night we've ever had. And so now that's day 8, going into day 8 of without a break. And then now St. Patrick's Day comes along and we get in and the phone starts ringing at 10:30 and our customers are just calling and ordering pizzas and buying gift cards because we offered $125 gift cards for $100. And I think that Monday we sold $6,500 worth of gift cards just because our customers were so supportive. But go back to that Tuesday, the phone rings and it's the local Jewel grocery store where I shop, and they know me, and they came to support us at our Naperville Pizza Wars that we won all 3 awards back in February. The whole team from Jewel were there, and they said, Mike, I said, hello. She said, this is Nancy from Jewel. We want to help, you guys survive, and we want to buy $300 worth of pizza for our team today. And she goes, can you deliver that at 12 o'clock? I said, absolutely. She goes, we just feel so terrible that your dining room won't be open, and we just want to show our love and support for you. So it was very heartfelt, and that was the first phone call that came in on that Tuesday. And then we started putting this FrontLine Heroes together with Stuart, and that evolved over the next couple of days, how to feed our FrontLine Heroes. And that program has just been going fantastic.
So, let's talk about that, because I think that's one of the things that when you and I first started talking, I was just absolutely blown away by the camaraderie of your community and all of the outpouring of love, along with you offering $125 gift cards for $100. That in turn turned to people wanting to buy pizzas for other people, especially those that are at hospitals or those that are fire departments, police departments. And I just cannot still wrap my brain around what a fantastic job you guys have done with this program. And I pulled a couple of these other pictures. You've got, these amazing notes, handwritten notes from I guess the donators. Is that right? Of who was purchasing these?
That's correct. So with the FrontLine Heroes, we first thought, what can we do as little pops? What can we do ourselves? So the first thought was, I called my purveyor, Greco and Sons, and said, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to give free pizzas away to our FrontLine Heroes, whether it's the fire department, police department, local hospital, grocery stores, whoever's out on the front line. It's the valet we deliver to, the transportation department at the hospital. We deliver to all over. And I said, are you guys on board? He goes, whatever you need, just let us know. I said, well, I don't know what I need yet, but let me try to figure it out. So then Stuart said, look, why don't we allow your customers, our customers to get involved, because they want to help as well. So he said, what could you do for a price? I said, for $10, I think we can donate a large pie, toppings, whatever, to the FrontLine Heroes. And that's what it started as, is got the customers back involved. Again, another email. When you have the data and you can communicate with the customers between emails and Facebook, it was perfect. We were set up to be very well in the communication department, and we got all this information out to them. Right now, I think we sold almost 1,000 pizzas to be donated. We were going to a 10,000 slice goal. Just talked to Lenny Rago that wants to try to do it in his area. So that got us going a little bit in a larger scale. And Stuart is back on it again, drawing up all these templates like you see here for other pizzerias to use and in their mission. So, again, we were just talking just before we got on the phone call for the webinar, maybe we make it a national campaign. We did secure the FrontLine Heroes .pizza web. We're building a website for it, the domain. So we want this to go national, and somehow we'll figure it out that everybody can get involved, and we'll set a goal of 1 million slices. This isn't going away. This will probably go over for another year, and see if we can do that with all our independent pizzerias getting together. I mean, we're a strong organization, and so this is coming off like 2 seconds of thought as Stuart was just texted me before. And if anybody wanted to get a hold of Stuart, I have his email. You guys can get a hold of me, and then I can pump it out to him, and we'll go from there. But we are going to make this a national campaign to feed our frontline heroes.
Yeah, and I know you and I talked on Monday, and I think I pulled this off your Facebook page, and you said you guys are well over 2,000 on the slice counter now. You're going to up that slice counter to 20,000.
Yeah, I think we go to every Friday. I think we update it Friday or Saturday, and right now we're probably at 2,500 slices, somewhere around there. And then we were going to up our own personal goal of 20,000, up to 20,000 slices. So a lot going on right now, and just trying to get this out to other pizzerias so they can, jump on board and get their customers involved and start feeding the frontline heroes, because they really do appreciate it. I just went to the local Jewel today and dropped off 10 pizzas before we got on the webinar. Yesterday I went to Walgreens, and it was, it's just appreciative. These people, the pharmacists, the workers, the employees, they really just enjoy it, and it is a personal touch. And I think the customer that is given the $10 is just as excited as the person receiving the free pizza. Nancy just called and left a message. Has any of my 50 pizzas gone out yet? I just want, because again, she's the lady that said, hey, when this runs out and you need more, call me and tap me for another 50 pizzas. And
that's awesome.
It's the love. It's the love in the community, that in the neighborhood, that is just, I think, really blown Vicky and I away. And not only us, the team, all the kind letters and the writings and the notes and the sayings through the door, and just talking to people, over the fence on our front stoop, the patio there. And it's really heartfelt. And the community has really come around us to love on us. And that's really, really humbling for Vicky and I and the rest of the team.
So, I want to show a picture here that I loved what I saw, because I thought this was such a fantastic idea. I think this was on the March 18th. So just the day after, and I saw a couple different things that you guys were doing. One was creating these pans, half pans, and par baked uncut pizzas, so people could take a half cooked pizza and then bring it home and finish cooking it with the family. And I know me, when all this stuff was going down, the grocery stores were just slam packed. That was the last thing that I wanted to do. And I didn't want, cardboard food. And these recipes look just absolutely fantastic. Have you guys had to cut down your menu at all? Have you had to make any modifications, or are you guys still, business as usual?
So we switched gears pretty quick, and I, again, called Stuart, and we were in constant contact, like 24/7, what we were going to do that whole week. And I said, let's start advertising our catering menu and pushing out. Had our chefs start making lasagnas, because that's comfort food, baked ziti's. And I got to give a little shout out to Stuart here, because this is actually, we catered his son's graduation party. And this is his party, how he set it up. They had little names on the front of identifying each dish, and this was at his house out back. And I always look at this picture and I'm like, man, this is like perfection on his photos, and he does all our food photography. But because I don't have that eye. They got it all set up beautiful. But yeah, we switched gears pretty quickly. We started doing getting dishes together, and that was another big support from the community, people buying all kinds of dishes and catering, because they didn't want to go out. They were kind of scared too, but yet they still wanted to participate and help us out. And the par bake uncuts were fantastic, because we always give them and offer them to the people that travel. We have customers traveling an hour away, so they always prefer that. And then I brought in a bunch of pizza bags from Perfect Crust, and they had some sale, and so I brought in like 60 pizza bags for the customers. And that was another thing, you know, I just gave them a cost and you can have them. And they love the idea that they have their own personal pizza bag. Now they're tied to us, and they feel like they're really, you know, really tied to Little Pops even more. And because they're fancy, they got their own pizza bag. So
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know that we've even
things
talked
are
about
working
that.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot I even, you know, all the stuff we're doing is going so fast.
Well, and I think that's what's important, Mike, right? I mean, I look at, you know, today, I mean, we're talking about 6 weeks from when you guys first got this dine-in order. And, you know, I loved all these drawings on the windows here. And I mean, you guys made a pretty quick shift to say, okay, you know what, we are going to convert our dining room. And I pulled some of these pictures because I thought it was just insane from what we looked at before, right? We looked at this picture from all these people in your dining room, your staff in the front. And then here, I mean, you've got boxes all the way up the wall. I mean, you've got a whole staging area that's taking place. You shared that you got, how many new phones did you implement to start taking orders?
Yeah, we went from a 3-phone system to a 10-phone system. So, you know, thank goodness that I have they're not even teenagers, 23 and 20-year-old sons that are into technology. And the 23-year-old, you know, went and beta tested this phone system after he bought it, did his research, bought it, and beta tested it for 2 weeks. So for the first 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, we were still using the old phone system, but he was able to push the technology somehow, whatever, where we could text. So the customer actually comes up, texts the restaurant phone number with their first and last name of the order, and then we call them back. We tried some different technology where we try to text them back, but you know, half the time this technology, our phones are working, but theirs aren't. We call the people, it goes right to voicemail. We text them, they don't get the text. So we just said, look, sit out there. We'll call you on the phone and when it's ready. And sometimes we got to call the phone like 3 or 4 times, and that's tying up the resources. So there's no easy way to do this. You know, we had a customer tell us, well, why don't you just text us back well, because we only have so much manpower. We're not running with a full crew. We still have a lot of folks, you know, young kids that their parents are keeping them at home, and that's fine. We appreciate that. You know, we're still running on a smaller scale, doing double the business that we've never done before. With technology, we're in a new era. We're trying to learn as fast as we can go. So, you know, for that 1% persons that can't wait, or you know, we got 2.5-hour waits on a Friday night for pickup. I'm trying. We are trying to go faster. We love everybody and appreciate it. It's not like we're sitting back here going, let's make this person wait. You know, they don't need to eat right away. I mean, come on, these guys are a little silly. The team is working overtime and to make sure that we can deliver the best quality food possible.
Well, it looks like you guys are definitely doing that. I can't wait to show some of these other food pictures that you guys have. And I think that's a key component too, right? You serve really good food. And people love to eat. We all have to eat. I mean, no matter what. I mean, that's one of those things that we're going to just have to do. And you guys have come up with a really creative way of doing that. So we showed some pictures of, you know, kind of how you guys have created a staging area on the inside. And then on the outside, talk to us a little bit about what you have going on here. How did you modify your business to really support your customers?
So this is the outdoor patio. So instead of having, you know, another 8 or 10 seats out or tables out here and seating for another 20, which we would normally be setting up this time of the year, we quickly had to realize that Tuesday on the 17th of how we were going to get the food from the inside to the outside. And I think at the time, right. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we were still able to allow the customer to come into the counter and pick it up. Well, our counter area is not that large and it got really crowded. So we didn't feel comfortable having, as this was going forward, having that many people in our lobby. So we decided to shut down the lobby and start doing table service. And we started with one table, then we got 3 tables, and then we realized we needed more tables because we were getting more phones. The business did not slow down. So we have 6 tables out there that they can come out. We'll call them, tell them it's on table 1, 2, whatever, and they come pick it up. No contact, no cash. Everything is through credit card, no receipts, no contact, no nothing. And our delivery is the same way. We go to the door, we put it on the, if there's a chair or a table, or we got to put it on the front stoop, and we back away, ring the bell, back away, and just make sure that they acknowledge. Some people are a little nervous and they answer through their ring bell and go, it's okay, you can leave, I'll pick it up and when you leave. And I'm like, okay, this is a little strange. It's like ding dong ditch, leaving presents.
Now, are you guys doing all of your own delivery, or are you using third-party delivery services, or how's that working out for you?
So we always use our own delivery service and our own people, and it's even worked out better because now the ones, everybody switched roles. From our servers went to phone people to drivers. Everybody is doing well financially, and the team actually even went in and they're pooling their tips, and part of that goes to the team members that aren't working, and that was their idea to come up with. So everybody's getting taken care of. We make sure that the team members that aren't working are financially secure and they're doing okay. We're in contact with everybody, and like I said, most of them are just young kids. They're still in school, and their parents just feel more comfortable that they're not working. And it's been the same team here day in and day out. We can't hire anybody new. We're self-quarantining at home. There's nowhere to go, so it's the same people in and out. We have our little pizza masks on. We got our pizza mask, and we got all our what else? We got our hand sanitizer. We got plenty of sanitizer for everybody, and masks and gloves, and we're doing, my hands, I think, never saw so much alcohol in my entire life, but, the team is hanging in there, and we're doing well, and, just rocking and rolling.
So I think one of the key things that I've gotten one of the times that we've talked is, there's a few things that you did right off the bat that I think has made a huge change, right? So the first thing that always resonates with me is that you sat down with Stuart, your marketing guy, who I think you shared you met him as a customer, right? He came in, he liked your food, and
he was, yeah.
You guys have been good friends ever since, and you guys put a plan together, and I think that's really important because I think there's a lot of folks out there, especially if they're new business owners, new to the restaurant business. Maybe this is their first restaurant or their first year, and they're not 100% sure. What do I do? How do I go about this? Do I wait and watch what other people do? And everybody's business is a little bit different too. And I love that you guys sat down and put a plan together to say, okay, what are the first things that we need to do? We need to tear apart the dining room, and we're going to make this a staging area. And you recognize that you needed to look at your customer database, and you've got a pretty significant customer database, Mike. You said over 5,800, 6,800 customers in your database, and then I saw about 7,000 on Facebook. Is that right?
Yeah, 7,500 on Facebook, just around 6,000 emails now for the customers. And again, it's Stuart is amazing because when I first met Stuart, I think we were open 4 months, and he just came from lunch, and a feed came across his Facebook page saying there was New York pizza in his neighborhood. And he's like, how does someone open a pizzeria, New York pizzeria, and I don't know about it in my neighborhood? So he just drove over, grabbed a couple slices. After he just had lunch, he was so excited. And then we became friends. And every Friday night, him and his son would drive over, wait in the lobby. And, Friday nights are crazy. And whatever time we would tell Stuart, it was always 20 minutes late or whatever. He would sit back and just watch. He was in awe of how this all unfolded. And for probably 2 years. And then he kept hounding us to do a documentary. And I kept saying, Stuart, I don't know who wants to see two old people making pizza, and there's nothing interesting there. And he goes, please, I want to tell your story. And the story he told turned out to be fabulous. When he first sent the first review of it, we just laughed, we cried, a lot of emotion went through there because of his heartfelt love to tell the story and tell our story. And I think that has made us so successful of what his ability to tell the story and his vision to where we're wrapping up into the neighborhood. So now you fast forward, that happened February 19th. Yeah, February 18th, 2019 is when we released the documentary. Fast forward, we've been working every week together, going over goals, taking food photography, putting out our monthly specials, writing our newsletters to our customers, and just getting the information to them for the last year. And then this hits, and we put our game plan together within hours and had information to our customers' hands. And the support, again, was amazing. And this is a Friday night, this picture on the screen of, we're the only folks, us and Dairy Queen are the only folks open in this plaza. And all these customers are there for us, waiting for pizza. It's, very, very humbling for the support that we have been getting from the community and from the neighborhood. We really dug in, and really this shows this is amazing love. And yes, they're waiting a little bit overtime, because when you get this many orders in the kitchen, it really taxes the kitchen. One Friday night we had the online ordering printing out 5 tickets a minute, and our kitchen can only go so much. The tickets went around. Kitchen side and pizza side could touch their tickets together, and it's like, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? And there's tickets. It's just, and thank God we got our new ovens in December, and now we've already outgrown them. We need to go a little bit wider, a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. We're rearranging the kitchen a little bit more to keep up. We know this isn't going away, and we're going to be able to open up a dining room, in a couple of months. But with that being said, we want to keep normalcy. I think we're the comfort food. We're the glue to the neighborhood that is looking for some stabilization and some normalcy. And food is definitely the way to someone's heart, and can keep people, calm down and relaxed and love, and they can enjoy with their family. And that's what we see. And using all the tools in our toolbox from Revention has really helped us. The online ordering is, for us, it's amazing. The old system we had used to come through on one program, then we'd have to sit and reprogram it in to another. Forget it. It really works, and we're so happy that we got to switch last August, for sure.
Well, we are happy too. We're happy to have you as a customer, and we'd love to hear about these successes. I think one of the things that I love about working for Revention is that, we can pivot very quickly. So there are some things that we do absolutely fantastically well, and there's other areas that, we're working on to make them even better. But it's because we have customers like you that call us and tell us, hey, we need this, we need that, we need this. And, the nice thing is because we're not a huge corporation, we can usually deliver those things a lot faster to market. And when we hear success stories like you're having with curbside and with online ordering, and just the camaraderie of your community, and just, you and Vicki have such a big heart. I think a big key to your success is just the amount of giving back that you've given to your community and to the people that you care so much about. And that obviously has shown. I know you had shared with me when we were talking on Monday, we talked about gift cards for a second. You guys pretty quickly offered, 125 gift cards for $100. How many gift cards over the last 6 weeks have you guys sold? Just by, and you did tell me that a lot of these people are using for the FrontLine Heroes, which is awesome. But how many have you guys sold in just the last 6 weeks?
So I think to date we have, and this was a special we run around Christmas time. You know, we do a Black Friday special where we do a $1,500 gift card for $1,000, and we sold just one of those. So we did. I was thinking, you know what? Let's give back to the community even more, Stuart. I said, let's offer that gift card program that we had, the 125 for 100. And he goes, oh, that's a great idea. And like I said, that Monday we sold 65 cards, $6,500 worth of cards. And then to date, we're probably up around $22,000 in gift card sales, which is totally blown us away.
Yeah.
And people make sure they tell us that we're buying this card today to use down the road. A lot of them don't want to use it. And the ones that have to use it, I get it, you know, use it. That's, we want you to have that. $25 is a free pizza, you know? And so again, we're trying to give back. You know, if you know a family in need where the parents are out of work or whatever, they're struggling, call us. And, you know, we're here for you. We are the neighborhood pizzeria, the spot that will take care of our neighborhood and beyond. You know, we've got food going down to Chicago, working on a deal trying to get some in San Francisco to the FrontLine Heroes, and wherever we can. We're just trying to do our part. You know, that's what God put us here for.
So Mike, you talked about obviously expanding the FrontLine Heroes program, which I just is so incredible with the amount of pizzas and food that you guys have been able to deliver to the community. You know, what else is next for Little Pops? I mean, are you guys going to continue with curbside and the delivery model? I mean, do you anticipate that you're going to be opening up your dining room, even if, you know, the city says, hey, you know what, August 1st, everything's back to normal again? How do you anticipate that's going to change your business forward?
So just before this all happened, and over the last year, we were planning on expanding our restaurant and trying to spread out left and right in our plaza, and working with our Dairy Queen next to us, and the hair salon and the dog training, and working with the landlord and saying, look, this is what our needs are. How can we do it, Mr. Landlord? And we had a game plan, and we were ready to expand, pull the trigger this year. And then this happened, and the business was still increasing, and it still is increasing now, where we still need to increase our kitchen space and our workspace. So we commandeered, our dining room for our workspace, and, for the boxes and the staging of all that kind of stuff, and the phones. So right now we're going to continue this path until we can figure out, or they tell us, what's the new dining room going to look like? Does it make sense to have a dining room? Will this dining room be able to fit 60 people in it again, this size, or will they only put 25 in it? What will the customer feel comfortable in? So it's a little bit of unknown, because we were supposed to put a full bar in for the neighborhood, and, a party room, and, bigger dining room. And this is what the neighborhood wanted and would help us along. But we don't know what the new norm is going to look like. So right now we're working day by day to get the pizzas and the food out faster, to the best of our ability, with working with what we have. We couldn't do any construction until next year or next winter anyway. So we'll see what happens. I think we'll all get more information going down the road. But right now we're trying to make this work better and better each day, each week. So we'll see where that goes.
So I know we've gotten a lot of questions in regards to, what's next as far as where you kind of see things happening, based off of what you've experienced just in this short period of time, which I imagine feels like a very long period of time with the hours that you guys are working. What do you and Vicki look forward to most when things do get lifted, where people can start socializing and start doing things? Is there something in particular that you guys are really looking forward to doing that you can't do today?
I think we really miss going out on Monday nights to our favorite Italian restaurant and eating. I mean, that was our little thing, our little escape. You know, she would do her thing during the day, go get her nails done and, you know, whatever she had to do. And then we'd meet at night and go out for dinner. And we do miss our restaurants and our friends and stuff, and having a glass of wine with our favorite bartender, Emily. And, you know, it's those things that we miss it. So I know our customers are missing us as we miss them. So, you know, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get back to some normalcy and everybody stays safe from this situation.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I'm curious, you know, you guys, you said you've got two very tech savvy sons that are kind of helping you navigate through some of the new changes that you have. You know, you've got a lot of friends that you've shared with me that are chefs in the business, whether they're in the pizza business or other types of restaurants. You know, what do you anticipate from a technology side is going to change with the way that we use technology to order food or how we dine in? Is there something that really sticks out that's kind of been pressing for you over the last 6 weeks?
You know, I guess we talk to each other and I think we ask the same questions. What's the government going to regulate on us? You know, we can adapt and overcome with anything. The restaurant business and the chefs and all the employees that work in it, you know, we can adapt to it. But is it going to be is it going to be affordable for us to have a dining room? You know, for me, do I pay that square footage for 25 people to dine in, or can I go back to 50, 60 people? You know, what technology is going to be different in the kitchen? Are they going to be able to, you know, mandate that we all wear face masks? Everybody knows how hot it is in the kitchen to begin with. You know, are we going to continue to wear face masks down the road, or will that be able to be lifted? You know, we always wash our hands. We wear gloves. You know, hats, that stuff's already there. We do have the restaurant sanitized, you know, commercially. We are wiping down all the time. I don't know what more technology besides, you know, what we, you know, brought in, our team brought in, where they can, with their own Google Docs thing and their own stuff communicating with the kitchen, from out in the dining room area, which is now the command center. You know, expediters are talking to each other through radios and Google Docs and programs and stuff that we developed, which is amazing. You know, we've always thought somebody would have a program, but we ended up making our own little program, and it works out well. And so we're going to expand on some of that technology. And again, you know, you say, what's the table going to look like? Is it going to be paper menus, no condiments, or you know, how's the server going to interact with the customer? You know, I think we'll get back to some normalcy for sure. We just don't know what the government is going to mandate on what that looks like.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about that quite a bit. I think even over the last few days, I've heard some just interesting things about what people are concerned about. Just like you said, I mean, you know, condiments, do you put them out on the table anymore? Is self-service still going to be self-service, or buffet restaurants still going to be around, you know, or is there going to have to be a major switch? I think one of the interesting things that you shared with me, you know, going back to your FrontLine Heroes was, you know, how many slices you wanted to be able to serve. And then when I asked you if there was anything that you weren't serving in the restaurant, you said slices, individual slices, you know? So, and you know, for those reasons, right? So they can pick up a small pie, a medium pie, a large pie, but you can't actually get a slice of pizza right now, which is very different than what people are accustomed to. I imagine, especially a New Yorker, you know, that's kind of, you know,
yeah, that's the backbone of the business. I mean, we sell thousands of slices a year, and that's the staple. You know, the old John Travolta, you know, walking down the street, you know, eating a slice. And yeah, for us not being able, you know, because nobody's entering the building, and so we just stopped it all together. And it's tough. We're a New York slice shop and we can't sell slices, but we do sell pies. Or we just tell them we sell 8 slices at a time. So
there you go. So, we've got a few more minutes, and I want to make sure before we get to questions that you can just give some advice to some of those folks that are out there, that may be struggling right now. I know here in Houston, we've heard some really sad stories about some folks that, had just expanded to 3 or 4 stores, and now they're back down to 1, and they're not sure if they're going to be able to open up those other stores. From the things that you and Stuart have learned over the last year and a half that you've worked together, and really even over the last 6 weeks, what is some of the advice that you can give to some of the callers today on some things that they can do immediately that might be able to help them continue to be successful and keep their doors open?
I would, communication is key, and we're able to communicate to our customers. If I know, talk to a lot of pizzeria owners that they were busy, so nobody advertised anymore. They didn't stay in contact with the customer. We try to stay in contact with our current customer as much as we can, not so much sending out any type of advertisement to get new customers. We really stay in contact with our current ones. And again, we get a lot of feedback. It's another thing through the Hunger Rush online ordering is that they have a button that they can push feedback. And we get a lot of positive feedback and kind words through that people just want to talk to us, because we can't see them face to face anymore. But I would say definitely, if you're not using your email list, dust it off, get going. And if you can, send out a little piece to your neighbors. If you have to use, if you have addresses and stuff, I would definitely send it. It's that little community where we are. We're in the middle of a neighborhood off the beaten path that is definitely supporting us. And even some of the folks that travel in. But definitely communicate with your customers and tell them what's going on. We're not perfect on Friday nights or all the nights. We do miss tickets. We do mess up. Some of the orders don't come through. We run out of tape in the tape machine. What else can go wrong? I mean, we've experienced everything. The phone's going out, internet cutting out, and they all blame us. Like we got 2 internet services here, and they don't always work perfect. It's technology. People just got to have a little bit more patience and understand that, us pizza owners and restaurant owners are coming in and wanting to do the best job possible and give the love to the food and send it out. We do truly appreciate the business, and love this business. If you don't love what you're doing in this business, there's no reason to be in it, because it's a hard business. A lot of hours. That's one thing my nephew never told me, that we got to put 80, 90 hours a week in. I'm like, whoa, at 53, you're out of your mind. But it's the most rewarding business that we've ever owned, and that giving back, get involved with the community, because they're going to support you. I mean, the more we give, the more we get. And we're definitely blessed.
That's awesome. I have to ask, what are some of your most popular items? I know you shared you guys make all of your desserts in-house, they look amazing. Do you have a few items that are your top sellers in this time that maybe changed from when you had the dining room open?
Well, we'll start with the pizza side. The pizza side, the number one specialty pizzas is our white pizza, which is oil and garlic based, mozzarella cheese, grande cheese, and then seasoned ricotta cheese on the top. And that's probably the number one specialty pie. The Pomodoro is old school margarita. That's the second, specialty pizza. Pepperoni and cheese and sausage. Sausage is big in the Midwest out here. But we use a cup and chorizo sausage and for the pepperoni, and it's amazing. And people just love it, especially East Coasters. They recognize that cup and char, and they love their pepperoni. It's got a nice little kick to it. It's perfect flavoring. On our entree side, up in the left-hand corner, there is our stuffed gnocchi, ricotta stuffed gnocchi, and our vodka sauce, all homemade. And that's probably the number one seller, backed up to the chicken franchise the egg battered chicken, and then lemon sauce. That's a top seller. Lasagnas, meat lasagna. We only offer the meat lasagna on the dine-in menu or the takeout menu now. That is always a big seller. We'll sell a dozen or so of those a night. And again, we have chicken marsala, spaghetti and meatballs, and it's just, people, you see them, they want a side of meatballs, side of sausage, still getting the homemade mozzarella sticks as appetizers. And then our desserts have not slowed down one bit. The only thing that slowed down is nobody's having any ice cream. We'd always give a scoop of ice cream on top of a cookie sundae or a brownie sundae. So we haven't bought ice cream, 30, 40 days. But the homemade cheesecakes are going, the chocolate mousse is going, and all the rest, tiramisu, the cannolis. Yeah, it's still flying out the door, and people are still, buying what they were buying before, just a little bit more of it.
And that's definitely a good thing. I know there's a lot of folks out there that aren't having some of those same successes. And some of the questions that we've gotten most recently, are you doing any types of coupons? Are you doing? I know you're offering the $10 pizza for donation. Are you doing do you do like a discount on a particular day or any type of coupons on any of the menu items?
So the only coupon that we do offer is to our loyalty neighborhood club member, and that's a $5 coupon they can use on Tuesday and Wednesdays. And it's not, if you're a first timer, you won't get that coupon until the next time around after you join the loyalty. But each month we send that newsletter out, and there's a $5 coupon they can use on that. I'm not a big coupon person. I didn't want to get tied up, with coupons and all that. We do offer free garlic knots on a certain night, which I think today is Thursday. You get 6 free garlic knots if you order 2 large or 2 pizzas of any size. There is a $3 off any specialty pizza, I think, on Tuesday. But yeah, it's only the 3 days that we kind of offer some stuff for free. It's just the weekends are too busy. It's been I don't want to go down that, because every pizzeria was offering, extra large pizza, which is extra large is 16 inches to them. And we do 3 sizes, 10, 14, and 18 inch. And our house pie was 22 at the time. But, 18 is our large pie. Back in New York, it was usually just 2 sizes. I don't remember as a kid having 3 sizes. It was either small and large, and that was it. 6 slices or 8 slices. So,
well, I think during the diet craze, they introduced the medium, right? Like that's when you start, so you feel like you're not indulging too much. So, I know we've just got a few more minutes here, and I want to open up to any questions that anybody has. Please, I'm not going to do the answering. I'm going to let Mike do the answering, because he's the one that's having all the success. So if you've got a question that you'd like to ask Mike, please go ahead and submit that into the chat. And as we wait for some of those questions to come in, Mike, I think, I wanted to share with anybody that wants to learn more about FrontLine Heroes, if this is something that you want to get involved in, if this is something that you're interested in, please let us know. We'll make sure that we get you in touch with him, and he can share with you a little bit more about what they're doing to take this national. I think it's just an amazing thing that you've done with the community.
Yeah, it's like you say, you don't know what the God has for the journey for you, and it's amazing where He's opening up doors for us, where to go. We're just this little. We were 1,200 square foot pizzeria. Like I said, I just wanted to sell 30 pies a day, $20 a piece, make a living. I was really, really content with that, and we didn't even know if we could sell 30 pies when we first opened, because when we first opened, the name on the sign outside, the old sign we got, it's Little Pop's Pizzeria. And the word pizzeria was there. And I had my sign guy just put the Little Pops in front of it. And because we had no money opening up, we were broke. We were on a budget. And like I said, we didn't know anything. And of course, being into the Chicagoland, is somebody going to want New York pizza? So we just turned on the lights, gave out some free garlic knots to the kids out front, and slowly but surely started selling pizza. And then when the East Coasters found out that we were here, they did a lot of spreading the word and advertising for us on their Facebook pages and talking to their friends. And, you know, here we are. We've been out here now in Naperville 11 years, and time flies. It really, 6 years being open, that's, you know, I talked to John Arena, and, you know, he's got 40, 50 years in the business. I'm thinking, holy smokes, I got a long way to go.
Mike, how many New Yorkers do you think you have as customers in Naperville?
I think there's hundreds, if not going into the thousands. I mean, you know, it seems like everybody's from Brooklyn or Long Island or Queens or Bronx, and you know, it's just amazing. And then we have a lot of people from upstate. I have a neighbor 4 doors down from me. I grew up in Fishkill, New York, and my neighbor Mike Gallagher lived 4 doors up. We both lived on Osborne Hill Road. He lives in Naperville with us. He came out and a year before I did. So he's been out, I think, about 12 years, and I'm out here 11. So yeah, it's 2 people from the same town. We got 2 people from the, you know, several people from the neighboring town where we moved to later on, and in Wappingers Falls. But yeah, it's amazing how small this world really is when you say 6 degrees of separation. And you're in Naperville, and somebody goes, "Oh, I know. I used to be in Naperville. I know that area, and used to live in Fishkill or Hopewell or Glenham." Or yeah, it's really a small world to all land out here together.
That's awesome.
That was me manning the phones on a Saturday afternoon, having a little pepper and egg sandwich.
Which looks delicious. I don't know that I've ever had one of those.
It's an East Coast thing, and it's a big Chicago thing, pepper and egg, especially during Lent. But my uncle, when he had the Italian restaurant back in Wappingers, Delano's, he would always make them for us, and they were just so good.
Well, I can't wait to come up to the Chicago area and come visit you and have some of your food and get a chance to meet you in person. And for everybody that joined us today, I really can't thank you guys enough for spending some time with me and Mike and Brian.
Well, we do have questions here, so I don't want to, you know, it's been a great listening to Mike, but he's got to, you know, pony up. You can tell your story all day long, but now you got to think on your feet, sir. So, you know, somebody was asking about the actual FrontLine Heroes URL. I did go ahead and make a tiny URL while we were talking. So it's tinyurl.com/FrontLine Heroes Media. Now that's basically a Dropbox that Stuart gave us when I had asked him. So this is, you know, kind of where they're going right now. The link he gave me was pretty long. It still might change. So. But I mean, people were asking about access to that real quick, and I looked through it, and it's great stuff that just kind of gets you on your feet and on you guys going with, you know, to do your own kind of frontline heroes push in your own areas. So I'm going to see here. So let me see there. One of our first questions is, isn't like Mike has figured it out. Well, Andrew P says that, you know, Mike has figured it out. He's turned a negative into a positive. So Antonella asked, Mike, is Revention the only POS you've ever used?
No, we started off with a small system. Again, when we got into this business, we had no money. And so I put my son in charge of trying to figure out what POS we were going to use. And we didn't have, you know, money to buy this equipment back in the day. So we used a cloud-based system. You know, I'd rather not say who they are, but it was really small. And they got us from A to B, and you know, we weren't even using the POS correctly because it couldn't operate the way we needed it. So when Revention came in, they said, this is how you do things. And we're like, that doesn't make sense. But that's the way the POS world works. And so we just quickly changed over, and it was really easy. Worked out well.
Okay, Mike, I did, like I said, I made that tiny URL. I took it upon myself, just something real quick. But what is the actual URL for, you know, the Frontline Heroes website that you can give us?
You're talking to the wrong guy.
Okay, well, I got something from Stuart, and it's a big, long, convoluted Dropbox, a lot of letters and numbers and symbols. So I guess
I'm looking down at, you know, you can get a hold of Stuart his email is Stuart.Meyer, Meyer, at socialfrequency.us, and Stuart is Stuart Meyer, Meyer, at socialfrequency.us.
Okay. So yeah, and it's Stuart.Meyer at socialfrequency.us. He'd actually just chimed in that apparently the one I put out there is just a link to a PowerPoint that they can use. So
right, we're building this technology as fast as we can. We did secure the domain of FrontLineHeroes.pizza.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and he just actually confirmed that right there. It's not yet live because I remember when you mentioned that at the beginning, I wanted to go in there and check it out. So
right,
and it's Heroes.
Yeah, we don't
ROES.pizza.
Yes.
So www.frontlineheroes.pizza is where this will eventually be up in the next week or so, probably, right? I mean, you guys are.
That is right. We're working around the clock. And again, this came from Lenny, who wanted to get involved with it, and then we got talking. Yeah, then we start talking, and we say, hey, let's see if we can make this national and get all the rest of the pizzerias involved and let them, because it does help with cash flow, because just because they buy, you have 100 pizzas, they're not 100 going out right away. So that does help your cash flow a little bit as an operator, and they're not, so you're not chewing through all that right away, and you still have to logistically find out where you can go, how to get there. So there is a little bit of legwork on the operator's part, talking to the local healthcare workers and hospitals and police departments, but everybody's going to accept food. Don't, especially pizza and whatever pasta dinners or any sandwiches. I would love to have BLT right now.
Well, and again, that is, the frontlineheroes.pizza, that's going to be the website, but there is a lot of media that you can use. I made the tinyurl.com/frontlineheroesmedia, and that's the PowerPoint that you guys can kind of use to explain it to your staff or even print out and get some stuff like that. So this is a great thing that you guys are doing. Okay, Antonella, I see it. She warned me she's going to have a lot of questions. I'm going to wrap it all up into this last question, and this is for Jamie. So are you still there, Jamie?
I am.
All right. She wants to know, is Revention working on anything new? And that kind of just sums up all the questions she's been asking right there.
She's
very interested about what you guys are doing to help her out and help out the businesses. But do you have anything new in the pipelines or anything like that that's gonna maybe something that you're developing specifically for this?
Yeah, we do. We actually have so much great stuff that's coming. Mike and I were just having some talks about this earlier this week about some things that he would like to see new come from us. And so I can share a little bit. I can't tell you everything because it's not quite ready just yet for us to offer to our customers. But we've got a drive technology that's coming out. So for operators that want to be able to look at better logistics of their drivers and look at those navigation paths from A to B, especially folks like Mike who may have a lot of drivers that are on the road and have just a better understanding of how to optimize those logistics. That's going to be coming out really soon. We actually have a new kiosk product that we've modified considering everything that's happening with no contact to provide a no contact way of still being able to utilize it. And again, I can share a little bit more of that here in the next couple of weeks as we start to launch that. Antonella, I'm more than happy to. You can have my email, all of this stuff here, and you and I can communicate, and I can also put you in touch with some of our account managers that can share a little bit more detail. And then we've also got our online ordering platform is already pretty fantastic, but we're optimizing it even more. So we've got more capabilities coming out through email. We have more capabilities coming out with push notifications, more capabilities coming out with build your own websites. where you're going to have a lot more control as an operator to make the changes that you need to make without having to go to your provider to make those changes, which, you know, a lot of the companies out there, even our competitors, big or small, you know, oftentimes if you need something changed, you do have to go to them to make the change because it is all tied into the POS. So we're becoming really a lot more nimble this year. That has been a big part of everything that we're driving. We've got some new upgrades to our tablet that are getting ready to come out for a lot of the folks that do have our tablet or are interested in still using tablets. All of our tablets are EMV chipped. We do offer NFC. We're improving the technology around that, as well as looking at doing some other cool stuff with beacons and geofencing. So I wish, Antonella, all of those things were ready for me to show you today. They're not quite ready, but they are coming. And, you know, those are all things that are on our roadmap for this year that we're really excited to share with our customers. So.
Well, she does have another question that I'm going to get to real quick, but Jennifer McSpadden, she had asked one early on, like right at the beginning too, and I promised her I'd get to it. Now she says, my pizzerias in Georgia, they're allowed to reopen our dining room this Monday, and it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, she may just open her patio. How will people start to kind of reacclimate as states allow dining rooms to open? I mean, she says that they're not ready in Georgia. Her personal opinion is they're not ready in Georgia. But, you know, they're being allowed to open. So, and people want their jobs back. I get it. But, I mean, how do you think people are going to reacclimate coming back to your place? I mean, are your servers still going to wear gloves and masks? I mean, how's that going to affect people?
Yeah, I mean, for us right now, like I said, I need the space to operate, to push out the product we're pushing out now and operate. So my dining room isn't really, we're not capable of even going back to a dining room until we can expand our restaurant business. So right now, at the moment, unless it really decreases, business decreases, I can't go backwards. We can't go backwards. And I get the patio outside and all that. I mean, is it possible we could put some type of tent in the first 5, 6, 10 parking spots and put some tables outside? There's all kinds of ideas, you know, if the city would allow us to do that. I get it. I think outdoors is great. If
it's
you
a little
can.
more open air. It's got the fresh wind breeze and stuff like that. But I mean, as far as like, regardless of what you would be able to do in your particular situation, how do you think everybody's going to be able to reacclimate to it? I mean, just the customer side. I mean, the habits are changing, buying habits, eating habits. I mean, do you think it's going to be, are we going to have to retrain them how to eat normal again? Or is that, I mean, there's going to be, never going to be the same.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same, but you know, talking to the customers, like I say, over the fence and, you know, through the car window and all that stuff, you know, they want to get back to normalcy. They're, I think, you know, 95% of the people I talk to want, you know, they're not running in fear, and they want to get back to, they would come back in. If I open the dining room tomorrow, I guarantee you I could have people come in here. You know, is it safe? I don't know that answer, but I know I would get customers to come into the dining room because they're looking for normalcy. And they would come in because they feel safe. I mean, they're buying our food now. You know, there's only a couple % people that spray their Lysol, their pizza boxes down with Lysol, you know, after we leave. And, but I think they're looking for normalcy. I think it will come back. And we're always going to be clean operators. I mean, you know, all the operators out there, they know, we know what we got to do. We're regulated by the health department 3 times a year here in Illinois. They come for visits and they tell us if there's anything wrong or they want us to change something. You know, we're going to have to clean a little extra, you know, we use butcher paper on our tables, you know, and every time it's for the kids to draw on, but it's a barrier in cleanliness. So we put new paper down. I don't know.
Well, and I did have, I mean, nobody knows yet. I mean, basically we're just trying to see what you're thinking right now, because other people can kind of think along the same line. I do. Okay, Andrew, I get it. Andrew P, I think it's Phillips. I'm let me see if I can get Andrew Post. I'm sorry, Andrew Post definitely wants to know if you're doing any dessert pizza, and if so, what flavor? I'm sorry, he's put it in there 3 times. So I'm trying to find other question real quick.
We do not do any dessert pizza. We have enough regular homemade desserts. We just don't have the space in the back to do that. The only thing we do offer is Zeppelis. We have a full bag of Zeppelis and with powdered sugar. That's about as much you're going to get from the with us right now.
Okay. I do apologize. I did have another Antonella question, but I mean, in the sea of questions that she had, I mean, it was kind of summed up. I think, Jamie, you did it perfectly. I think you answered all her questions in one thing right there. And just if she can reach out to you. I mean, put her at
Absolutely.
ease.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
she was gung ho. It was great. There was a couple other questions. I had a couple questions myself. Well, here's one that's just maybe for Mike. I do have a couple for you too as well, Jamie. But I mean, Mike, is it hard kind of getting product now? You mentioned Diesel Sausage. I mean, great company. They're in, the great family there. They have a great product. But there are some other pork manufacturers, unfortunately, that have been hit by this. I mean, have you been noticing any kind of slowdown in your production, getting products through distributors, or if prices been low? How are you adapting?
No. I stay in contact probably daily with my account manager from Greco, and just to make sure, again, we're lucky enough to have extra storage here and in our plaza, so we stock up on a lot of I've never been through so many pizza boxes in my life, but we're constantly, I just tell them, because they are, have our name on them, make sure that the buyer is aware of how many we're using. And I think one day we got short. They couldn't deliver them, but they were there the next day. As far as cheese, not a problem. We got cheese coming in from Grande all the time, no problem. Flours, not a problem. Stanislaus tomatoes, not a problem.
Okay.
So far, and again, the sausage and the pepperoni, not a problem. I did hear about that one pork company, but it's not ours. And, we're always in contact, even you wonder, are we going to have a problem with the to-go containers? Because a lot of them come from, China or wherever they come from. It's, are we having a problem getting them in? And so far, we're plugging right along. I mean, can't find toilet paper still, but we can find, everything else. And that was our gimmick. We were when we had the dining room open, before this happened, I already, got an extra case of toilet paper for the restaurant, and I had 2 cases there, and it was just by habit, by accident. I didn't know I had an extra one. I ended up getting it, and I was gonna, promote, come have some little pops, dine in, and use our bathroom, because that's when that all hit. And but yeah, then they closed down the dining room. But
I mean, that's as nice as that is, but I mean, it just sounds like you've got to stay on top of your build-tos and know what you need and maybe adjust a little, but also let your distributors know in advance so that they can plan ahead too. Because even if there is a little bottleneck on their side, they can kind of plan ahead for that. So I did have another question as far as now, this one's for you, Jamie. So does the Revention POS keep track of the gift cards separately? Is there like a separate column for that? So that, I mean, because even after this, we're still going to want to do gift cards. So can we know what kind of revenue stream comes from the gift cards? I mean, what's kind of functionality in that on the back end?
Yeah, we actually have some really exciting things coming out with gift cards. This is something I've been working on for the last week and a half. So I'm excited to share a little bit more about that. I'm still kind of finalizing because I'm trying to get, the best pricing for our customers, make sure, especially right now, that we can do something really special for them. So, but yeah, we have, we're fully integrated with our payment processing too, which makes us a little bit different. So we can offer, oftentimes a lot of people that come to us, they're paying, I mean, this guy the other day that sent over their statements, I mean, I think it was like a $400 savings just in fees, just, by taking a look at those merchant services. And gift cards were a big part of his program too. And he was only just doing kind of, plastic gift cards. And he's like, I really want to start doing e-gift cards. So, we were a little bit behind on rolling out e-gift cards, but we are getting ready to start doing that. So that's going to be available too. So again, following with no contact and making sure that people have the ability to send a card to a loved one wherever they are. And so, Mike, hopefully that'll be something that'll help you, get that number from 30 to 50. Right? 30
yeah.
to 50.
Well, Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's going to be great because we do have that, people asking us, can we buy an e-card? And I look at them like, I don't even know what you're talking about,
Yeah, so I'm actually just wrapping all of that stuff up, and we'll be presenting that here over the next probably 2 weeks. And so yes, you can manage that. You can do all of the tracking with that. The reporting is really great with it as well. So we've got a pretty strong gift card program. So I'm more than happy to share with you guys anything else you have around that. And we're always improving on it as well. So we're everything that we do. I mean, because we're a smaller company, and we're not that small, but I mean, we're we're smaller than some of the big names out there. But we've been around a lot longer. I mean, we've been around for over 20 years, actually much longer than that, but 20 years is the Revention brand. And the team of folks that work behind the scenes, I mean, they just have a plethora of knowledge like you can't imagine. It's like the John Arans of the 50 years in the pizza business, right? So these guys have been in the POS business for just a super long time. They know the ins and outs, and they know how to help solve problems. And we do have a lot of, not just with our reporting, but our logistics, our inventory management, our enterprise back end is just really fantastic. And if you're a pizza operator, I mean, we started out in pizza. So, I mean, I don't know anybody else out there that can really even come toe to toe with us on the pizza side of the business. And that's something that I'm really proud of. So if you're a pizzeria and you're looking for a new POS, I mean, that's something we can help you with.
Well, that's great. I mean, I guess I hit the nail on the head with that question. That was just something I was just curious about, but I'm glad it was a kind of a loaded answer ready to go. And Tanella, I found you out of the question. This is a good one. And don't get all these questions that are put here. We'll get the chat log, and I will submit them as well so that they can be answered. But this one I really like too this is for you, Mike. Is Mike doing business with third-party vendors like Grubhub, DoorDash, Slice? And if so, does Revention incorporate those third parties into their system? So I guess it's actually for both of you guys.
So no, we don't use third-party anything. We've just been blessed without it. I'm not saying it's a good or bad. For me, we don't need it. But I believe Revention does integrate with all those companies. So.
Yeah, we do. We offer integrations with Chally and It's a Checkmate, and we have another one that's actually in beta right now that we're going to be offering too. So you've got choices. They're all a little similar and they're all a little bit different. So it really just it's really about what your needs are as an operator. And then we also are integrated with DoorDash Drive as well. So if you want to offer delivery, but you don't want to use a third party to necessarily do it, where you're losing that 30%, which is probably why Mike doesn't want to do that. DoorDash Drive offers the ability to offer a white labeled service where you can augment your delivery only. So you can actually leverage their drivers to do the delivery for you for a smaller percentage than that 30% chunk. And so we do have some smaller operators that they don't really want to use it for any other reason but for that reason. And so that might be an option if you're interested. And we're fully integrated with all of those services. It can help you get in contact with whoever you need to get you up and running.
Now, let's just say it's not integrated with Grubhub or there's some of the local third party. Is it easy for you guys to integrate them into your POS? I mean, it's maybe something that's not all in every 50 states, but it's in this one state. Can you work with somebody to integrate something local into the POS?
We take that on a case-by-case basis. I mean, if there's just not a lot of volume and it's such a small percentage, I mean, we have to kind of look at to see if it makes sense to do that. But, that's something I'll probably need to find out a little bit more information on from the product team. I know that they've advanced, but the thing about with like Chally and It's a Checkmate is they really streamline the business, right? You don't have to go direct with all these individuals anymore where you have 27 tablets that you have to manage. They streamline everything so they connect directly to all those local providers, and then it all comes in through one API feed. So instead of you having to do Grubhub and Postmates and DoorDash, they're integrated with over 100 of those folks, and then it's all done more seamlessly, right? So it makes it a lot more efficient for the operator.
Okay. Well, and I did have another question on my own. Some are keep popping in, but everything's so scrunchy. I need glasses now. But I had one on my own that Jamie, this is kind of for you. Does sorry, it's my phone alarm. Does your POS, does Revention work have any kind of integration with social media? at all? I mean, I know it might not. It's kind of a big step, but I mean, does it like link to your Facebook accounts? Um, if
Yeah,
you
so we've got like single sign-on with Facebook
do
and
you?
some of the other social media pieces. Yeah, so and that's
Awesome.
something that some people use it, some people don't. It really just depends on what you're looking for. So if you have a need for something, just let us know what it is that you're looking to do, and we can help you with that. And if we can't help you with it, we'll put you in touch with somebody that can help do that integration for you. So.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it's one of those things. I think the follow up was that, I mean, if you use these kind of social media links through the
Mhm.
POS as a gather customer info that goes into the database, that 6 months down the line you can do like a kind of a door-to-door marketing type thing. Um, I mean,
Yeah, so we're not a CRM, and I think that's one of the bigger
okay.
distance. So we're not a customer relationship management tool inside of that. I will tell you, and I'm only going to say this a little bit though, but we're making some huge advancements on how we can do some more types of webhooks and integrations to better facilitate those needs. So
Okay.
a lot of our customers today, similar to what Mike will do, he may extrapolate the customers out of his database and then put them into another email platform or take them off of his social media. And then he does those blast out those marketing communications out that way.
But
We
it does
try to.
gather the information though, right?
Oh, yeah. You can
Oh
still
yeah,
gather the
awesome.
information.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, reporting behind it, all of those things. But we want to stay true to what we do too, right? We don't want to be the one all everything, and then we don't do anything really good. So we're always improving on the things that we can do to help customers be able to do those certain things better. But we're not, our loyalty program, we continue to make advancements on that, and then can help nurture you to do what you need to do from a marketing side.
Well, it's like, Ron Swanson of Parks and Rec says, don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing.
That's right.
One of my favorite sayings. So, no, that's great. I did see here Mark Ulrey, I believe. He wants to know, he says, please ask Jamie if we can get a calendar of when these new marketing tools will be available and if they need a company to test any of these programs. Looks like you
Yeah,
might
so
have
we're
guinea pigs out there.
Yeah, no. So we actually, one of the other initiatives that we're working on is we're going to be executing some new newsletters. So I actually can, I'll let me know who you are. I'll make sure you're one of my first people and you can be my beta tester. And we are, especially for our customers. I think one of the cool things about being a smaller company is, Mike and I talked about this the other day. If he tells me there's something that he wants and we don't have it, I go to my product team. I go, hey, what about this? Is there something we can get other people? And we that's how we get our beta test done, is we use our customers to do it. We don't outsource it to someplace else. And we want to make sure that it's something that it is valuable to them, and it's something that's going to help solve their problem and help make their life easier, so they can, so you guys can do what you do best, which is, cook amazing food and provide great experiences for people. And we want to do what we do best, which is create the software and the technology to support that.
Okay,
So yes,
I mean,
I will make sure that we can do.
if somebody's trying to reach you, Jamie, specifically with these questions like Antonella or maybe Mark, what's the best way to contact you?
Yeah, so you can jamie.swartz@revention.com. You'll actually, everybody that attended the webinar and even those that may have had to leave early will get a follow-up email with our contact information. I'm pretty hard not to find, so all you got to do is kind of Google me or find us on LinkedIn. You'll see me posting quite a bit. But yeah, Jamie, JAMIE.SWARTZ@revention.com. And, more than happy to help. You're always welcome to reach out with any questions, comments, feedback. If there's some other things that you would like to see or hear us do from an event perspective, maybe more stuff with Brian at PMQ, maybe more stuff with Mike at Little Pops, please let us know. We want to hear from you. We want to know what problems we can help you guys solve. And the more we do it together, the better results we'll all get. So yeah, I've got my contact information here, and then just we've got your contact information. So let us know you're interested and I'll reach out.
Well, yeah, and Mark did say, to Mulray, send the newsletter to mulray@gmail.com. Again, Mark, I'm going to send all this information over there so that they can get that. They have your information. Antonella, there's one last thing. I'm going to have to clean this up because she used quite a lot of expletives. No, she didn't. I'm kidding. But are you guys working on like a wireless tablet, for integration into that POS? Do you guys have that all set up? and it might have been said before, I might have missed it, but just kind of, just in 2020, we're in 2020, everything's wireless, Do you guys have that set up, or are you working on that?
No, we do. We have a tablet called an iReggie, so it's Bluetooth enabled. It like sometimes people though they'll try to go way out in the parking lot, right, and then they lose Wi-Fi, and they're like, your tablet doesn't work. And it's like, well, you gotta, gotta be close to that. But our tablet, I think that's one of the areas that we probably could have improved on a lot sooner, faster, to be transparent and blunt. But I mean, it's something that we're continuing to work on. We really focused the last year on our online ordering platform, and to be honest, I'm really happy that we did, because that's been able to really help folks right now during this time period get the best results, where tablets are not being used quite as much. Not to say that they're not being used, but we are working on that. We're actually working on another rollout probably in Q3, so it is still a few weeks away, that we're going to improve the tablets to. Again, there'll be NFC, EMV chip. So that's gonna help from a security and fraud perspective, which is really important. The NFC is the near field communication. If you're not familiar with that term, that's the tap and pay you're probably familiar with Apple Pay and Android. So those are things that we're still tweaking. It's not quite perfect just yet, but we do have a product out there that works, and we have some customers that love it and some wish that it was a little bit better. So that is something that is a priority for us for Q3.
Well, it's the whole industry. I mean, a lot of us have been kind of thrust into making these changes drastically that we were working on already, but now we have to go forward. And I'll tell you what, I will give all these questions over to you. And Antonella, I think she wants to be, she wants to help. She's got a lot of, ideas. So anyway.
We love ideas.
Yeah, I think she would be. She's one who seems very hand-on. She's here. She's still here, as far as I could tell in the webinar. So Antonella, I do appreciate you hanging on and all the questions. She warned me at the beginning she was going to have a lot of questions, and I said bring them on. I might have regretted that statement, but I don't think so, because that's how you learn. We want to learn from the customers what they need. So Mike, one last thing for you, man.
Yeah.
What if you're stranded on an island, no Corona, nothing like that? What's the one pizza that you have to eat every single day? What's that one pizza?
Me, I'm a purist. I'm a cheese guy. I really am.
Boring. Come on. You had to have at least one topping besides cheese then.
We would go with pepperoni.
Okay.
Pepperoni,
for me. Cheese.
Yeah, the Ezo pepperoni, man. It's just, we got to go, my son and I got to go to the factory back in September, and we put on the gowns and toured the factory, and you were in pepperoni heaven. I mean, we were just surrounded with pepperoni, and it was just amazing to see that company and how their employees worked, and the two different sides of the factory. And it was, yeah. Oh man, all you smell, I think the whole drive from Columbus all the way back to Naperville, we smell like pepperoni.
Very nice. All right. So grande cheese, Ezo pepperoni. All right, Jamie, what about you? Just real quick.
I mean, I'm a pepperoni girl too. I wish I was a purist, but I mean, I like to throw some peppers on top and some jalapenos as well. So
there you go. A little spicy, savory. I like it.
Thin crust though. I know. I just gotta watch the calories,
Well,
you're on the island. Great. Who's gonna see you?
It's true. Yeah, it's like you and the coconut trees. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time, Jamie and Mike. All of you guys who stuck around for this whole time, Antonella, everybody who was asking questions, we do appreciate it. They'll get these questions in their entirety so that they can actually address you one-on-one. But they're very transparent about how you can reach them. They look forward to your comments and suggestions and our questions. Definitely, if you're in the Naperville area, go and check out Little Pops. I got to take this out. I can barely hear myself. There we go. And then, hit some of those Chicago places. But, everybody be safe. Be safe and be sane. Don't rush it. But, just know that your local pizzeria is there, and your local POS system is there too to help that pizzeria make sure all your pizza dreams come true. So thank you guys so much, Jamie, Mike.
Thank you guys.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Brian.
Bye.
Thank you.